off.
Yeah, it's
there.
on now.
Do it in the proper process, so turn it off there and turn it off the power. So if I start again, yeah. So to set the machine up, you have to make sure that the machine
These
is...
chairs up way. They're in the way now.
You have to make sure that the machine is switched off. You can edit it, can't you, as you say. So make sure the machine is switched off at the back before you plug it into the wall. Now, once it's off, you can switch the power on and then switch the machine on at the back. And then on the front here you have the control panel with an LCD display, very clear display. The button here is for power, so you switch the power button on and you'll see the LCD display light up. On the top here, you can lift this lid here and you can see the water container inside. There's a little filter there to stop dust getting into it. And inside there you've got the ultraviolet light, which is constantly purifying the water. That light does go on and off, so don't worry if you have a look at it and the light has gone off. That's a normal process. There is an indicator on the front here, a little red button, which is also clearly shown in your handbook, to say when the ultraviolet light is on. On the front of the display here, you've got the temperature in the room that the machine is situated in, and on the right hand side you have the relative humidity. Now in the book it tells you what the optimum is to produce the maximum capacity of water, and the ideal is between 24 and 29 degrees centigrade for the temperature of the room, and between 70 to 80% relative humidity, which is shown on here as RH, relative humidity. This is a bit down on both of those, but you'd expect that in the UK. It doesn't mean the machine won't produce water, it just won't produce as much as its optimum level. So it will still produce probably 15-16 litres a day in a 24-hour period. You'll hear in a few seconds the machine kick in. It's just sort of setting itself up now, and you'll hear the noise. It's a little bit noisier than we anticipated, and they are going to do something about that for future machines, but it's because it's a sort of a humming sound, you do get used to it. I have one in my home and it's not a problem, but it is slightly noisier than we anticipated, but it's not a major issue. It also tells you on here the temperature of the water that's being generated, and the indicator in the centre here is showing that the power is on. So you've got that, it looks like a drop of water dropping into a pool. That's showing you that the water is on. And this, on this side here, this going up and down shows that the machine is actually producing water. And this is showing, this indicator on the left hand side here, little blue dots, that's showing that the filter pressure is right. So that's really it on the front there. If the water is too warm, at the moment it's 18 degrees, and that may be a bit warm, especially in warmer climates, you can actually reduce that by pressing the button here. Again, it's clearly marked on the in the booklet, in the handbook. So there you have.
So you can set the water
reducing the temperature of the water now. As there's no water in yet, we'll turn that off for now. But you can hear it just clicked in then. It's now generating the water. That's this. You might want to edit this, but this sounds a bit noisier than mine. I think the back panel here is just vibrating a little bit. But there are some screws on the back, you might just be able to tighten those up. This, can you hear that?
Yeah, but I think
that's
some
what
sort
I get at my house, and when I let go of that panel,
so we need to pack in
just
So
tighten the screws at the back. It's just a panel that's moving.
Okay.
So you might want to do that. Now, in terms of obviously this is a little filter there in case somebody spills any water. It goes on there. When you want to dispense water, you press this button, and it starts the water flowing, and then you press it again to stop it. So it's very instant. Once you press that button to stop it, it stops straight away. So if your cup's nearly full, and don't expect it to overflow, it won't. And then of course you can also heat water at this side, but of course you're heating the whole of the water, and it'll take a long time to cool down. So it's probably not something I'd recommend to to heat the water. I think they said in the States the machine costs about $8 a month to run with electricity. $8 a month, and that electricity in the States is pretty expensive, so I should imagine that in most countries it's a bit cheaper than that to actually run it. But it's a lot cheaper than buying the plastic bottles, and a lot more environmentally friendly, of course, because you're not using the plastic bottles, which the major issue with plastic bottles, although we do recycle them, some countries aren't able to recycle. But it's the fact that the plastic is in the heat, sometimes kept outside in direct sunlight, and what that does is it releases the toxins from the plastic into the water. So you think you're drinking pure water and you're really not. And of course there's the environmental damage by the plastic bottles that are not recycled, going into the ocean, going into landfill sites. And then the plastic actually disintegrates in the water. It's not properly biodegradable. So it disintegrates into the water, and then the fish swallow it, and then we eat the fish. So we're actually bringing the plastic bottles back into the food chain, which is obviously very bad for you. So this machine is also an air filter. On the back here, if I just swing the machine around a little, as the air's flowing through here and being pumped out the other side, it goes through this filter. So any dust particles will be collected in this filter, and that can be just washed and replaced. So it's also an air filter, which is very good if you have anybody with breathing difficulties. You have to keep the back of the machine a few inches away from a wall, so don't have it pressed right up against a wall. And again, in the booklet it tells you how far away you should be from the wall. The machines are plug and go, so when the machine is received and it's unpacked, you literally go through the proper process of connecting it to the power supply, and then it's ready to go. You don't have to do anything else. We do recommend that you just wipe out the container, which you can get to through here, just in case any dust has got into it en route. But it shouldn't be, but it's just safer to do that. Okay, now when the filters need changing, and we say that the filters need changing about once every year, unless you're connecting it to tap water, which if you want to connect it to the tap water or well water, which you do using this tube into the back of the machine. The filters are all kept in the front here, so again, very easy to get to. It just swings open, and the filters are they're fairly they're obviously marked up. The tops are all different, so you can tell the different filters. So everything's very straightforward, and you just unclip it here and replace the filter. They're just held in place with these plastic holders at the top and the bottom of the filters. And again, the instructions on the website for all the different things that the filters do, carbon filters and all the rest of it. So that's basically it, really. There's not a lot else to say about it. It's quite a simple machine, although it's sophisticated technologically, but it's very simple to operate, which I think is what we want, really.